I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laakson.
I am Francisco Cerundolo, and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It is Indian Wells, the Masters, and this is our reaction to the draw, which is underway. Some of it has taken place, and we'll just be going through the men's and the women's and giving you our thoughts on some of the first round matchups and the routes to the final for some of the big guns as well. So it should be quite an interesting one, this one, JG.
Yeah, certainly. Of course, the big talking point about Indian Wells this year is there's no Novak Djokovic. He was unable to travel to the US and play the Sunshine Double, which starts, of course, at Indian Wells. We both are in agreement on it that it is so unfair. He should definitely be allowed to play. I think them still sticking to... is it their principles? I don't even know how to even describe it. It's not really their principles, but still sticking to these outdated rules when we've already learned so much about coronavirus and all the effects of it all. I feel like they just should let him play. It just seems like it's politics yet again, and it is disappointing. Of course, Rafael Nadal, my favourite player, is not going to be playing Indian Wells as well. But there is some big names there. And on the men's, we have Carlos Alcaraz as the number one seed. Stefanos Tsitsipas is there. The big name I want to talk about, though, is Daniil Medvedev, who's in really good form coming into this event. You've got to say he is favourite and the one to beat. And aside from the real big two GOATs, everyone else is there, right? Who else is missing? I think Felix. Oh, no, Felix is there. I thought he pulled out.
We've got, obviously, the reigning defending champion as well in there, Taylor Fritz. He beat Rafael Nadal in the final last year. That was the battle of the injured, I'd call it. They both were sort of hobbling around on the court, and he just about got it done. His biggest tournament win, Taylor Fritz. And it's going to be interesting because the last tournament, he was criticised heavily for throwing up and for, like, not handling the conditions and the heat very well in his last tournament that he was just playing. And I believe that was Acapulco, that one. And yeah, could the heat be causing a factor for him again? I've not seen him suffer in that sort of way before, but he did eventually go on and lose that match. I think it was to Tommy Paul in the end. So Taylor Fritz, I'm hoping he comes back and gives a good account of himself to defend that title. But Holger Rune, another person that will probably be on a lot of people's maps as well for this tournament.
Yeah, I was getting confused. When I say Felix withdrew, he withdrew from the doubles. So him and Korda withdrew. So that's what I meant there. Felix is playing the singles and someone who could do some damage, but not playing very well at the moment. So I don't fancy him. I think the main name is going to be Daniil Medvedev. And as we are talking, let's go to the draw because there has been the seeds placed in the draw.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
We have the seeds placed. I did send you the tweet.
No problem. I'll get it out now.
And this gives us some potential round of 32 matchups. And I think what we need to be looking at now, of course, what are the big characteristics? I think you need to see where Daniil Medvedev falls on the draw because he's going to be the number 5th seed in the event.
Yep.
And everyone wants to avoid him. Like, if you're Carlos Alcaraz, the key for me is to avoid two players, Jannik Sinner and Daniil Medvedev. If you're Alcaraz, you want to be on the other side of the draw to Medvedev and Sinner. And the reason I include Sinner in there is because Alcaraz doesn't do very well against Sinner. So let's have a look. So let's see where he is, Ben. Over to you.
Right. So let's have a look because obviously we're starting at the top here. Carlos Alcaraz is our number one seed, and you can see him there at the top of the draw. And you can see Felix is just down at the bottom of this section. Over into the next section, this is where Medvedev is sitting. Here we go. So this is what the one we want to see. He is in the top of the second section. Yeah, and he is in that small little section with Alex Zverev. That's very, very interesting. Zverev looking like he's coming back to form a little bit at the moment. So, and We've got Khachanov in there, another big server. Agut, that was somebody that you were speaking about, somebody who'd like to rally quite consistently, and maybe somebody who can challenge a Daniil Medvedev playing in this like percentage tennis, long rallying, that type of match. That suits him. So that could be an interesting matchup. Should we get that?
Yeah, if you go to the first one again, Ben, we'll have a
Sure.
look at that one first, because that is the top half. And on the top half of the draw, the notable players we have are these. I'm not going to include Griekspoor and Dan Evans as seeds, because no offense, they're not very good at the moment. And I don't see them very far. So we've got Carlos Alcaraz, Buster. I'm going to include him because it's in America, and we might see the US Open version of Carreño Buster. Hubie Hurkacz. Tommy Paul got to a final the other day and lost in Acapulco against Dimonor.
ADM. Yeah.
We've got Felix on that little section. We in here we also have, this is all on the top half, Taylor Fritz. We have Dimonor, Yannick Sinner, Musetti, and Holger Rune. So Holger Rune, Alcaraz, Sinner. Wow. So potentially in the little quarter as well, we have Sinner, Musetti, and Holger Rune. So one of them could potentially come through, meaning that we could see an early Sinner-Rune matchup.
Put Chorich in there as well. ADM, no one will want to play him at the moment.
This is quite a little tough section here where you are now.
Yeah.
Not easy at all.
Musetti could... You never know which one you're going to get with Lorenzo Musetti. So... I wouldn't be too worried if I was Holger Rune at the moment if I had Musetti in my section.
Yeah, but he's probably not going to play him. Most likely it'll be the other Italian, Yannick Sinner.
Yeah, you'd think so.
And a Rune-Sinner matchup. Where's your money on for them two?
Yannick Sinner.
I feel more Rune at the moment. But...
Ooh. I thought you were going big on Sinner.
I am, but I just think Rune beats him right now.
Fair enough.
And these would all be avoiding Daniil Medvedev, because some notable players on the bottom half. Let's go to the bottom half now. Of course, Daniil Medvedev, Van der Zandschulp, Bautista Agut, Alex Zverev, Khachanov, Casper Ruud, who, I mean, is not playing very well at all. He's having a bit of a poor year. Rublev, who's coming into form a little bit. Shapovalov, who's terrible right now. Berrettini, don't see him going very far. He's all right in bursts this year. Norrie, personally, I think he takes out Berrettini. TFO, maybe he could have a nice little run. And he's in the section with players who Tsitsipas doesn't like. So Tsitsipas has Krezi, Dimitrov, and TFO. TFO or Krezi have the ability to beat Tsitsipas and knock him out.
They definitely do. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's not a nice...
Rublev's on that little bit as well. So he'd have to beat... But it could potentially be a Rublev-Tsitsipas quarterfinal according to the seeds. And right now, I don't know. I fancy Rublev.
Yeah, I'd say so. For me, it looks like, based upon form, you're going to get a Rublev-Norrie coming into the fourth round by the looks of it.
No, Norrie's on the top bit. Oh, into the fourth round. Yeah, sorry.
Fourth round.
And then quarters?
Quarters. It just depends, really. I mean, Tsitsipas, if he manages to get through there, that would be very interesting. I think we'd probably see Rublev's going to be the favorite from the top for sure in that little section. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tsitsipas Rublev. But I'm interested to see who fills in these other little blanks in between, because there could be some interesting...
I think TFO cleans it up, man.
Do you think so?
He might come good in this event.
Interesting.
Well, look how good he was last year. He's one of the best players on tour.
How did he get on at Indian Wells? Would probably be a better...
No, I don't know. I think he's just he's turned a corner a little bit. Maybe in slightly disappointing this year, if I'm being totally honest.
I don't think he's done too much this year, has he?
No, but saying that, can't be too critical of him. I think he could come really good. And let's just go through, because we have, I think, the full draw out now. So, yeah, the full draw is here.
Okay.
All the players in. And, yeah, I don't know what one to send you, really, because, I mean, do you want me to just send you this one to start with?
Send me whatever you got, and then we'll go through it.
I can send you just the picture of the full draw if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. and then we'll have
It's
a
only
little
it's not the most official of pictures. I think it's all been done very slapdash, and I know you was disappointed. We were talking off air how unprofessional it's been this year. Not televised at all. Why don't they televise the draws? Do you not think that would create a little bit more excitement around these events if they televised it and made it an occasion?
Yeah, not only that, and it gives a bit more transparency as well, because then there's obviously going to be people like moaning, saying like, why isn't it being televised? That's another question. Like, what's going on behind the scenes? Like, are they trying to like fix something? Like, there's always going to be that element of stuff. Like, let us see the draws. That's all we want. We just want to see what's going on. It's like when they had the FA Cup back in the day. Love watching the draws. It was always exciting. You get everyone in a room together. Everybody sat there. Who are we going to get in the first round or the third round? Don't get any of that. Where's the excitement? Come on.
Yeah, I did send it to you. I don't know if you've got it.
Yeah, no problem. Right, is this the full one? Oh, okay. Yes,
we got John in. How we doing, John? Hope you're well. Saying tennis draws is one of my bugbears within the sport. He's not a fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, mate. I mean, it's pretty poor. And we got some of them just audio only or something like that on some of them. Just televise all of them. It shouldn't be that difficult by now, should it? We're in the technological age where we can show everybody everything and they can't show us anything. So, right, here we go.
Okay, so just clarify, Ben, this is the top half. So there's going to be two images. This is the top half of the draw, which Ben's showing on the screen now. And we can now see all of the players. And what we're going to do, I think, is break it down. How do you want to do it? By quarter? So just this little first 1 to 32 as
left,
quarter one.
Right. Yeah.
And then we'll just look at this first quarter, the Alcaraz quarter, and we'll look at some of the unseeded players who are dangerous and talk about who we see coming out of it. So initially looking at it, my name, which really stands out to me, has to be number 14? Number 14, Andy Murray.
Woo-woo.
What more can we say about him? These last few months, what Andy Murray's been able to achieve is amazing. And I've been very critical of him coming back, this big comeback, saying, what's the point? He's not competitive. He's not this. He's not that. But I was so wrong. And the reason I was wrong is because he's given me more enjoyment than most of the rest of the tour. I'm going to be entirely honest. I've watched some of his matches recently, and I found them more entertaining than, say, top 10 players, for example, watching a Zverev right now, or watching a Casper Ruud, or even some of the matches with Hurkacz and some of the other top players. I found Andy Murray just a lot more exciting, and they've been really good tennis moments. There've been a lot of drama with him trying to save match points and come back, and he's just been playing some good stuff. And I would like to see him go very far, and he is a very dangerous unseeded player. Echeverry's playing very well at the moment on the clay courts. I don't think he will be too much of a problem for Murray. And the real thing is, we could be looking at a Murray versus Alcaraz match.
That would be brilliant. I know that they played a couple of times before. It's always exciting when those two play. I think they bring out the best in each other. Alcaraz obviously a little bit more fresh with the legs, but Murray's really proved something this year. He's proved that just to never give up, and that performance at the Australian Open that he put on, I thought was just so impressive. And then to follow that up with just marathon Murray, just playing just incredible tennis, like into another tournament. A lot of people probably thought he was one and done with the Australian Open with those long matches, but he's proved that.
Surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
He beat Berrettini, didn't he, then? Yeah.
It was in 5 sets. They had Kokkinakis, the 5 sets. It was incredible. I just thought, wow, that's just goes to show that he really, really
beat the
is at the top
recently
level.
as well, didn't he? Who's been playing well
at a top level. I mean, I thought he played. He only eventually lost to Medvedev, wasn't it? I believe.
Yeah. Can he beat an Alcaraz? Not so sure. But anything's possible with Andy Murray. Never write him off. He is one of the GOATs, sort of the fourth GOAT. And the one who could have won a lot more Grand Slams if it wasn't for the other three, put it that way. The other name I want to bring up, is another unseeded one, is Jack Draper. He's just above Andy Murray, and he'll have a qualifier in the first round. He's in the little section of Alcaraz, so they would have to play in... Oh, no, he's not. He's just below. So he's in the section with Andy Murray. So we could be looking at a Draper-Murray match early doors. You've also got Evans there as well. So a lot of the
British.
Brits all clustered there. I'd love to see one of them come out. If it's not Murray, then why not Draper? One of the new kids on the block. And going down right to the bottom, I don't really like any of the other players. I'm sorry. I know Hubie Hurkacz has been playing okay. He could do it, but I find him a bit boring. Felix is playing poor. Tommy Paul could easily get through there, but I see the guy getting to the quarters, getting to the semi even, being one of the ones from the top bit there.
I think Hurkacz possibly will in that little section.
Listen, an Alcaraz or a Brit, it's going to be a bit boring at the bottom with Hurkacz and Tommy Paul.
I mean, this little section, I think probably Hurkacz in that section, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, I'm just being honest.
Is it boring?
Probably won't be that exciting, but he'll grind his way out and fire that big serve. And yeah, I mean, him versus Tommy Paul, I don't think he'll put many bums on seats. But Tommy Paul, I find, is a little bit more exciting. At least he's, I don't know, got a little bit more to his game, a little bit more. I don't know. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Just like more enthusiasm on the court. I feel Hurkacz, I feel like he's a victim of his own demeanor. He's on the court, but he doesn't really show much emotion. Or I feel that he's got amazing skills, and apparently he's one of the nicest people on tour, and I don't doubt that at all. So I'm sure he is a great guy, but he just doesn't really feel you.
I'm hoping Draper can do it and win that little bit.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, let's move over to the Taylor Fritz quarter. And in the Taylor Fritz's quarter, this is all of the young guns. So we have in here Baez, he's a young guy, Dimonor, Yannick Sinner, Musetti, Kuzmanovic, and Holger Rune as the big seeded players. We've just spoke about this a second ago. We could see a Sinner-Rune fourth round matchup. I fancy more Rune, you fancy more Sinner, but let's just go a little bit above that. And some of the unseeded players to watch has got to be Shelton. Early doors, he's got Fognini. I think he takes Fognini. Can he beat a Fritz? Because I think he can.
Yeah, I feel that Fritz is a little bit up and down at the moment, but he may come into this tournament with a bit of confidence, being the reigning champ. He may feel that this is his tournament, and if he's won it once before, there's no reason that he can't win it again, just because it suits his style of play. So that'll be close, though. I think Shelton, he's a big server as well, so this will suit him as well. I think that'll be a really close matchup if we get to see it. I'll probably be cheering for Shelton.
Yeah, it's tough. And you've got Dimonor just at the bottom of it. He's just won Acapulco, his biggest title. I don't think you can just dismiss him. There's no reason why Dimonor can't head that little bit altogether and play one of the young guns of Sinner or Rune.
Yeah, we've got Chorich lurking around in there as well. In the
I don't think he's been playing that well, though.
No, I don't think so. Well, Medvedev completely exposed him, embarrassed him, unfortunately. He didn't.
Yeah,
he lost
21 points in a row, I think, Medvedev against Chorich the other day.
Six games in a row, 21 points in a row. After that, I mean, he probably went and sat in the changing room and thought, what the hell happened? I mean, that was just absolute domination from Daniil Medvedev. But that's what he does. He is back, Daniil Medvedev, and he is the one with the target on his back at the moment. And I would not want to play him if I was any of these people until at least the final. Like, you want to get to that point to have the opportunity. I don't want to play him in an early round because you pack your bags, you're going home.
Any other unseeded players you want to speak about? You got Domi Thiem there.
Yeah, Thiem and Wawrinka. I protected ranking there for Stan the man. We've got to give him a shout out. He's playing a qualifier. Could easily get through that one, I would have thought. And
I don't think you want to play Rune, though.
No, that's the problem.
Didn't they play recently?
This little section is not good for either of those guys. I don't see Thiem or Wawrinka doing very well here. McDonald.
Is Thiem finished then? Is he just done?
Well, I said I didn't think.
Is he won and done? US Open and done?
I personally think so. I don't see Dominic Thiem coming back to the level that he once was. And it's sad because I really was starting to get on the team bandwagon just even before he won that US Open. And he was a really exciting player, really nice guy. Just terrible turn of events. And that wrist, unfortunately, he's never looked the same. Just doesn't have the confidence on the court anymore. He just looks like a beaten man on the court. His head's down all the time. Not the same player. So hopefully he can change that, and hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, we've got a nice super chat coming in from the Ghost. How we doing? Thanks for that.
Ooh,
Saying, hey,
cheers.
boys, whatever you do, don't mention Liverpool to John Silk. He's putting on a brave face, but you can see the sorrow in his eyes. It's haunting. Well, I've heard John is currently debriefing in Bonn. He's sitting in a dark room all by himself, sipping on his 7-Up right now. Very upset with the result. And listen, I'm very pleased about it because I think Man United fans needed a humbling, especially after what they did to West Ham recently. All of this nonsense about Garnacho being the next wonder kid. I think they can simmer now a little bit. And I'm hoping, talking tennis, aka John Silk's listening to this, because Man United fans need to be put in their spot a little bit. They was getting far too loud recently. I heard they was in the title race a few weeks ago. So I wonder if is that still the case? Are you in the title race still, John?
Doubt it. I mean, I think that was a bit delusional, to be honest, to think they were in the title race. It's only a 2-horse race, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got John in saying the book sounds for even the defeats of swords.
I'm not surprised. Many more defeats.
Cheers, Ghost, though, for the tip.
Yeah, appreciate that. Right. Anybody else in there? Not really. Anyone else of note? Let's move over to Medvedev.
Just quickly, I want a name from this little section who's getting out, Ben.
Getting out of it?
Yeah, this
whole section.
Not the same, not the whole half, just this quarter, the Fritz quarter.
Oh, the Fritz one. I'm gonna go Ben Shelton.
Oh, he's renaming it the Shelton quarter. Cheers, So Iconic, for the super chat.
Cheers.
Appreciate that. Very kind of you. We definitely do need it at the moment. Channel is not making that much money at all. So all the tips are appreciated. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. I
can't believe you've renamed this to Shelton Quarter. Let's move on to the other quarter.
I've disregarded the reigning
bottom half now.
Right, okay. Let's move on to
Casper Ruud. This is not the Medvedev. This is the Casper Ruud quarter.
Nah.
It is. Go down. It's number 3. Look, the Casper Ruud quarter.
I feel bad that I give him a lot of stick, but he's not doing anything to stop me giving him stick this year. I feel like Casper Ruud, what's happened to him in 2023? It's just a completely different player, isn't he?
Well, look what Medvedev could be faced up against. Isner or Nakashima early doors in America. Big John, Daniel Medvedev.
I don't think he troubles him. Not going to lie.
Does Daniel struggle against big servers?
Not really sure, to be honest. I don't think so.
I can't really recall him versus like a Pelka and all of these guys.
Great returner.
I feel like he just beats them, though.
Yeah, he's just a great returner. He's got a big wingspan. He's got a big serve himself as well. And he's got a much better game. So I don't think he's going to struggle.
Yeah, and Casper Ruud, as Jane says, doesn't do very well at Indian Wells. Your boy Covey and saying gutsy pick by Ben. I'm totally digging it. He's loving it. But yeah, the name what sort of jumps out to me. Let me have a good scan because the first time I'm looking at it right now. I quite like Lestienne. No.
Again?
No, I'm not doing Lestienne. Batista Agut.
Thought you would.
I think he can take out Zverev right now. But aside from that, no one really that amazing. Diego Schwartzman not in good form. Galan a bit of a clay quarter. Fekina hot and cold. Oscar Otte Zher not playing very well. Zher's a clay quarter. Hatanov, I mean, bet on him at your own peril. You don't know what Hatanov's going to turn up. He's been looking really good in the slams recently, but What did he do in the last event? I feel like we both had him going really deep recently, and he just
first
lost
round
straight away.
Yeah, lost first round to Van der Zandschulp.
Yeah, Van der Zandschulp, I don't see him getting through Medvedev. So I'm looking at this little bit here, and if Bautista Agut can beat Medvedev, I know it's a bogey player for Medvedev. Agut leads 4-2 on the head-to-head. Aside from that, Medvedev cleans it without breaking sweat.
Yeah, I mean, Zverev, he might be edging his way back each.
He won't be beating Medvedev, though.
I mean, he lost to Rublev in the last one, but it was a close tie-break second set. But that's the difference. Medvedev Rublev was not even a competitive, whereas Zverev Rublev was actually pretty competitive.
Come on, Ben. Give me a laugh. Give me an unseeded player from this little bit. I'm due a laugh. Come on. It's difficult to pick.
Nakashima? No, Wu.
Wait.
No, that's not that section. That's the wrong section. So
no, you can have that. That is that section.
Is it? I think
it's
that's
quarter. I'm talking about the quarter.
Okay, I haven't gone all the way down then. I need to. Yeah, go on then, Wu.
Okay. Fair enough. Right, let's move on to the final quarter.
All right.
I'm assuming the Stefanos Tsitsipas quarter. Yep, that is correct. The number 2 seed, Stefanos Tsitsipas. And he's got some bogey players in there. Krejci, Dimitrov, and TFO. 3 players who I just feel they're just unpredictable. You can't really get more unpredictable than TFO, Dimitrov, and Krejci.
No.
You can say Krejci is predictable because you know he's going to just serve volley. But when I say he's just he's just a nightmare. You just don't want to play him.
Well, so many double faults as well.
TFO I know he's beaten Tsitsipas at Wimbledon, and I feel like he has the ability to beat him here in Indian Wells as well.
Right, Gael Monfils in this little section as well down here. Is he going to make a little comeback?
That's pretty mad. Gael Monfils is back. I didn't know
that. I know. He's back in the draw, protected ranking.
Did you know he was going to be playing?
I didn't. This is all news to me. So interesting because I think he could beat Jordan Thompson. That's very interesting. Sonego, he's not been playing. Kubler Sonego is a little bit of a sleeper. Quite like that first round matchup. Kubler, pretty good, but Sonego's been playing well of late.
Yeah, I think that's a tight match. Really tight. We've got a few qualifiers in there. Right at the top, though, let's look at the Rublev bit.
Oh,
Shapovalov screwed, isn't he?
It's not great for him, is it? I mean, got Ugo Humbert. He's back. Just played in the final of a challenger. Lost, unfortunately.
It was like 4 hours as well. Did you see that?
To Van Asher.
Free set match, 4-hour match. One of the longest free setters you can have. 2 tie breaks there was, and it was incredibly long. The last tie break was about 1 hour and a half.
Well done to Van Asher because he's the obviously junior Roland Garros champion. Now he's finally doing it against some of the slightly bigger players on tour. Well, used to be, but at least he won the final. He'll be happy with that. Puts himself on the map a bit, Van Asher.
Lehechka Rublev.
Yeah,
is Rublev tumbling early?
Could well be.
We've got Josephine looking at that as well. That's another one which is tough. Jane's excited to see Monfils back in action. I think he's gonna. I hate to disappoint you all. I think he's gonna be out straight away. It's one of them where he's come back. It's gonna take him a few tournaments.
It's not gonna be like a very sad affair where he's just limping around the court. Hopefully,
I just feel like it'll take him a bit to get going. That's all it is.
Okay. Berrettini, I feel that he's got a little bit lucky with potentially his first match of the tournament. I don't think he's playing very well at all, Matteo Berrettini. So, I mean, his last matchup, he lost. Well, Holger Rune, he didn't even win a game, and he lost 6-love, 1-love. I don't think he's, like you said, I don't think he's going to do very well in this one. I think Norrie, if he has to play him, will beat him. So, Norrie, could he be the sleeper? Isn't he Indian Wells champion? What was it, 2020? Was it 2020?
Yeah, he played
Bassasvili in the final.
Bassasvili in the final, and Badoza won the women's. I remember that. That was good times.
Those are the days. That was when it was being held in November, I believe.
Yep.
If I'm right in saying.
Right, before we go on to the women's, what I want to do is just go through Medvedev's route. I sent you a tweet, so maybe bring up Medvedev's route. And then we'll go through the women's draw because all of the women's is out now. And we have some really good potential matchups on that. Of course, Iga's in action. I've just sent you the tweet for that as well. I'm going to send you a nice little graphic of some routes as well for the women's.
Nice. Got to move these phones because it's just vibrating all over the place. Terrible. All right, we got Medvedev's route here if we want to have a look.
Maybe we're getting the women's one ready while I go through this. So
No
Medvedev's route is he's got a bye. Is the Nakashima, Van der Zandst, Zverev, RBA, Hachanov or Ruud, Tsitsipas, Rublev, Berrettini, Nori, TFO or Shapo. I love how they put so many names. I actually think it might be TFO, but I'll have to wait for my draw preview, which will be coming tomorrow night. And the final of Alcaraz, Fritz, Rune, Felix, Hurkacz or Sinner. Won't be Felix. He's not playing well enough. Don't think it's Fritz either. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Hurkacz does play well in the US, so I can't dismiss him. But Alcaraz, these conditions, like John's saying, could really suit him. And I'd love to see Alcaraz do very well here. So Medvedev's route, the reason we brought it up is because he is the favourite to win this. And he is, even if Djokovic was here, the guy to beat at the moment. He beat Djokovic recently. So I don't want to offend any Djokovic fans, but Medvedev is the player to beat right now.
Well,
just being honest, you've got to say that.
3 tournaments in a row and beat Djokovic. So I don't think you can really complain about that comment. He has been playing the best out of everybody on the men's tour by far. I don't think there's anybody who would argue that at the moment.
Nice. So let's go through the women's.
Right. So we'll start at the top. This is right. Sorry, it's just I'll zoom in. Here we go. And we've got Iga's section, we'll call this, at the top. And look who she's got in her section. Emma Raducanu.
Oh, here is Emma. Here she is. I've missed Emma Raducanu. She's back in action at Indian Wells.
Brilliant.
And she's playing Kovanic first, the player who beat her, right?
I think so, yeah. Wasn't that
the famous Australian Open one, I think.
Round 2?
Yeah, Australian Open this year. 2022. And it's when she had the blisters. Do you remember?
That's it. She played chopping it the whole time.
Yeah, it was the first Grand Slam after winning the US Open.
That's it.
Second round, she lost to Kovanic, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, chopping it, no forehands at all. And she's got her again. How do you assess it? I think we just start with that one. Emma versus Kovanic. We've also got Niemeyer in this little section. Hadid Meyer, Samsonova, and Escu could be playing Iga early.
I mean, it's not a good section, is it? I mean,
there's some good players here.
If you're Raducanu,
you're probably just devastated. Because even Magna Linette right now, you don't want to play her.
Oh, that's a terrible person to have in. She's just gone deep in the tournament recently as well. I think the only saving grace for Raducanu is Kovanic has lost her last 3 matches and lost to Heather Watson in her last match. So maybe there's some hope there. There's a bit of Brits gonna help each other.
Some revenge.
Maybe.
I don't see her getting past Linette though. So
yeah, that's gonna be too. I mean, Linette's playing some great stuff at the moment. She had a great Australian Open. She was the main Polish threat, as we know. So, but she did lose in the first round in Austin as well to Gracheva. So didn't do too well there.
Right, so moving down.
Right, moving down.
We have Madison Keys, one of your favourites. Leylah Fernandez. Here she is. Ooh. I was hoping she had a good draw. Who does she have? Garcia, early doors. Oh, no, not Garcia. Not
good.
Ons Jabeur's here as well. Not bad for her. Balskova.
Is she actually in this? Ons Jabeur then?
Yeah.
So that she'd pulled out of this tournament or not? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. No, it's the Dubai one. She pulled out Middle East.
So we've got Balskova, Trevisan, and Ons Jabeur should be able to... Who's the name? Just keep going down a little bit. Oh, no, Azarenka. Azarenka. No, but she's in that next little bit. Yeah. Azarenka's in the bit with Jabeur.
I still think she has a chance, though. That's not the worst section for Jabeur.
Mukova's here as well.
Oof.
Part of me thinks Azarenka could just come and do some good stuff here in Indian Wells. She's my dark horse.
Part of me thinks Jabeur might have a little resurgence in this tournament.
That's a good
as well.
match. You definitely have to cover that. Sloane Stephens, Sophia Kenin, first round. That's two of your favourites.
Oh, God, I'll guarantee to be doing that one. Very exciting. I hope we get to see Mukova Azarenka. That would be a really good, actually really exciting.
I want Azarenka to win.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going big on Azarenka in this.
I might have a win in Indian Wells. Sneak preview.
Not Rybakina.
Rybakina or Badoza. Ooh.
Wow, that would be a good matchup.
Who's the other seed there? Kasatkina and that little bit.
Yeah.
So this is at the bottom. So you've got one of Rybakina, Badoza, or Kasatkina.
Rybakina will fancy her chances in this section, that's for sure.
I don't know. Badoza won Indian Wells. It's her favourite event.
What's she done since then, though? That's the
but
problem.
She likes this event.
Yeah, true. Can't ignore that. She does like the sunshine. She's not been looking too good of late, but maybe she's a bit more focused. She's back in a big tournament again. Maybe
I'll give her my big dark horse. Who's your big dark horse?
What, in this whole section?
Just in general, as just a player who's a bit low in the seeds, who's one to watch in this event? I haven't seen anyone as we've been going through.
I was going to say Mukova, but I don't know.
Oh, you can't jump on my bandwagon, Ben. Get your own player.
How's that jumping on you? You just picked Azarenka.
No, but Mukova's one of my... See, I've been telling you about her for the last 3 draw previews. Now she's back.
And you're like, look, that's not even a seeded player. You're picking a seeded player.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about just a player who you could see doing well. And you're going to... Okay, it's fine. You can have one of my players. It's fine. I don't mind you having it.
What? So why are you not having her? If she's going through and then playing Azarenka, why don't you have her?
No, because I'm going Azarenka for this one.
All right, then I'll have Mukova and we can fight.
So you want to go head to head with me?
That's it. I want her to knock out Azarenka.
Lauren Davis?
No, she's been terrible. Like, definitely not.
We've got MJ and saying, I thought Ben loved Badoza. I thought that too. Wasn't the world number 1 not too long ago.
Let me down. No.
So iconic, saying Lynette, maybe.
She's on the bad list of mine now. She's been struck off.
Anisimova, I know you're a big fan of her. Is she not in the draw? Did she not make the trip?
She's not interested in tennis anymore, I don't think. I don't know what's happened to her. Maybe Iga as a sort of wild card shot.
Right, if you go off this, there is some notable first round matches. I think it's attached to the same tweet.
Okay, I'll just find the tweet separately. That's easier.
No, it's on the same tweet.
Do you not want the other half of the draw? Or?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for that.
Yeah, that's what I was thought we might have a look at the rest of the draw first. And your favourite, John's favourite, and yours? Maria! There she is, number 7.
Look at this section. This is the who's who. Pliskova, Sakkari, Kalinina, Kudermetova, Kvitova. Pick your poison. Ostapenko, oh my word, what half is this?
Kvitova.
Keep going. I want to see some Potapova, Pegula, Goff. Yeah, I mean,
there she is.
Anisimova.
She is there.
Zhang. I feel like anyone can come from this bit.
Krejcikova, she's in there as well. Her. I mean, danger.
Vekic.
Yeah, I mean, this is
and Saba.
Vekic.
On paper, Krejcikova's the best player there. Fight me if you want, but Krejcikova's the strongest player on this half.
I like it when you're singing her praises. It makes me feel all nice and warm inside.
Who's your strongest player on this half?
Well, at the moment, probably Donna Vekic. She just won a tournament beating Garcia in the final.
So you're going to have Vekic beating Saba?
Might do. Maybe that's a sneak preview to my bracket.
Sneak failure. That's what we love to see. What about Belinda Bencic? She was big on her the other week.
Nah, she bottled it. She pulled out against Iga. I'm not having that.
Who would you go against here if you had Anisimova met Bencic?
Anisimova versus Bencic. I mean,
the way Georgie there is an unseeded and could be playing Pegula early doors. Georgie to knock out
Pegula's
Pegula.
always no. She's like a Masters, or she's a WTA 1000 queen. She'd always get to the
Yeah.
final, wouldn't she?
The thing with
Pegula,
Pegula, she'll clear out all of these names, I think,
and then
until she plays someone who's got
Iga.
power. No, even Saba. I think Saba just can beat Pegula.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Any kind of powerful players would just beat her. And Lee there, another one of your favourites, got blink of a first round.
Well, this is one match I'm quite interested in. Sharif versus Fravitova in the first round. That is a really good youngster matchup in the first round to play Kalinina. And I think that either of them could beat her as well. So they could have a little run. So
and they'll be pleased if they can ever get to play Pliska as well, because she's always winnable.
Parks, she should be noted as well. She's in the draw.
Bit suspect recently, but young.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be critical of her, but she's not ready, I don't think, for an Indian Wells.
Mandlik and Risk, another one of your faves.
Yeah, she was, but not anymore.
Ostapenko, one that we can't ignore. I think that this little section that she's got here, we could end up with
Goff's a little bit.
We could end up with a Pegula Ostapenko. Was that fourth round? Yeah. So
let me see the Coco Gauff bit. So that's with Anisimova. I mean, Coco Gauff's not bad. Linda Noskova. Noskova's there.
Noskova, yeah. Kostyuk's just won an event as well, her first ever WTA event. So she's in good form. So
I just feel like Krajcikova's the best player in this half.
Scarily good she was against Iga. That's the
Iga Krajcikova final. Roll it back.
Well, I'd love to watch it again and see if Iga can just give her a little bit more of a competitive matchup, because Krajcikova just played so well in that tournament. It was scary. And
well, Gary's disagreeing. He's saying, come on, guys, Sabalenka's still the most likely player on this side of the draw to get through. The loss to Barbara did not change things overnight. No, I agree with what you're saying, Gary, but I don't think she is.
What about Lin Zhu as well?
I'm big on Saba. I called her to win the Australian Open, but I don't think she is going to win Indian Wells, and I don't think she gets to the final. I don't think she gets out of this half.
Wow, it's not the easiest. Lin Zhu obviously just won a title in Hua Hin recently, and didn't do too badly in Monterrey as well. Only lost to the eventual winner in Donna Vekic, who she could play again if she gets through. So it maybe a little bit of revenge. If Vekic could be tired. She just played a whole tournament and did end up winning it. So you never know. She might end up going out in her first match. Sometimes happens.
Yeah.
But Saba, yeah, I think don't overlook her. She's definitely dangerous.
Yeah, Donna Vekic, by the way, is 14-2 on the year.
Incredible. I mean, followed on from last year. She would look really good last year. It looked like she was back to her best. Yeah, exciting year ahead for her. She could be maybe a top 10, top 5 contender come the end of the year if she keeps that up.
Right, let's end with some of the routes for the women's players. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've got some nice graphics here as well.
I see them.
So let's go through them and start with Iga.
Right, okay.
So Iga, bye in the first round, lose second, Andreescu third, Hadid Maya fourth, Garcia quarterfinal, Pegula semi-final, and Saba in the final. But could be Krajcikova. How do you assess it? Any banana skins until never?
It's not that. I mean, it's not that easy, is it? I mean, Andreescu, if she actually did quite well here in the past.
Garcia did really well against her again in the tour finals.
Exactly. So it's not the easiest of draws.
Well, it's not going to be, Ben. It's Indian Wells.
I know, but she could have had an easier, maybe third round matchup, and because I think she could.
Well, is Andreescu been doing? She's been playing well then.
I thought she would be playing well this year, but I don't know. If she's been
you keep saying that. We keep saying, "Oh, it's not an easy match because it's Andreescu," but what's she done recently? She's done nothing.
I'm saying Badoza. What's she done recently?
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's what I'm saying. They're all players who have ability or just not at it at the moment.
But she's good at this event. That's like you said for Badoza. She's done well at this event.
Good example. I am more fearful of a Badoza than Andreescu.
Okay.
So therefore, I'm looking at this and I don't think it's tough until the quarterfinals of Garcia.
Okay. Right. Well, We could be Krejcikova though, as you say. So that's Iga's route. Saba's route. There we go.
By Cornet, Vekic, Krejcikova, Goff, Jabeur, Iga. She's not
Oof.
getting to the final.
Yeah, I mean that's
Too tough. I mean, it's just these are tough. These are really good players. Cornet is brilliant as an underdog. Vekic, I've spoken about her form, one of the most informed tennis players in the world right now, 14-2 on the year. Krejcikova, the second most consistent tennis player in the world right now, has a good chance of getting to the final. Coco Gauff has not been playing well, but has the ability. Jabeur might do something special. And of course, final of Iga. Can't say much more.
Yeah, I mean, very, very difficult route. I mean, Krejcikova could be the toughest.
Saba's draw, if you compare it to Iga's, is a lot easier. That's why I think you're being a bit too much on Iga. I think Iga's got an easy. It's not an easy draw, but it's not that bad for an Indian Wells Masters event. There's going to be top players, Ben. If you compare it to Saba's, you'd have to agree Saba's draw is a lot harder.
Saba's tougher for sure. Yeah. Pegula, Georgie could be tough to start her off. If she gets past her, I feel that she'll make it all the way to the semis.
Yeah, I think this is quite straightforward, really, until the semi-finals of Iga.
Yeah,
I even see her beating Sakari if it was to play.
Yeah, Sakari, we never know with her. And then we've got Ons Jabeur back on the courts again. Great to see. And her one looks probably the best of the lot, I think, up until the semis.
I disagree. I think this is harder than Iga's purely because you've got Azarenka there. My dark horse, Azarenka, don't sleep on her. I keep saying it on this episode and I'll say it time and time again. JG's going big on Azarenka in Indian Wells this year. She is a massive dark horse and could surprise a lot of people. I've seen her practicing wearing her Mbappe jersey today.
Ooh.
She's ready.
Interesting. A little bit of insight there. I'm excited to see how she gets on now. Hopefully she has to play Mukaba.
I'm going to be going big on Azarenka this year.
Wow. There you go. That's pretty much the draw. You've had our reaction. Let us know your reaction in the comments section and in the live chat. Love to hear your thoughts on your favorite first round matchups and who do you have going deep in this tournament on the men's and the women's side. Does anybody challenge Medvedev? Is it going to be a clean sweep? And on the women's, it's a bit of a free-for-all. Is this now like the eager sort of dominance over? And are we just going to be seeing now more competitive tennis on the women's side with lots of people potentially in the running for this Indian Wells title?
Yeah, just before we end it, Ben, what I want from you is a dark horse from the men and the women. Of course, this is before we do the draw. I've given my women's one. I'll go first to give you some time to think. My women's one's Azarenka. On the men's, it's a little bit tougher to find a dark horse who I think could do some damage. But the one I'm going to go for is Alex de Minaur.
Interesting.
I think Alex de Minaur could surprise some people. And that is why I'm going to be going for him. Yep, I'm happy with that. Alex de Minaur and Azarenka are my two dark horses for Indian Wells before I've done the actual draw play-by-play. Of course, that could change tomorrow when I do my official draw, but that's just my initial reaction. I want to hear yours in the comment section below. And let's hear Ben's right now.
I mean,
where's you going to go first, women's or men's?
I was just going to go with men's first, to be honest. Okay. But having a look through the draw, what's the stipulations? Does it have to be over like a 15th seed or something?
Over
like
a 10 seed.
I'll go Yannick Sinner then. He's number 11. I'd say that for starters.
Boring.
Why is that boring?
Well, you're just going for the one.
You said Holgaruna's going to knock him out.
Yeah, I'm joking. Go on, you can have Sinner. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Yannick Sinner on the men's side, and on the women's side,
Sakari.
I mean, he's number 7. It's not Sakari.
Raducanu?
Yeah, Raducanu is definitely the one. Maybe.
Oh, Gary's gone Mukova and de Minaur. I love that Gary's also on de Minaur. JG said it faster than I could type it. Interesting. Me and Gary have been very in sync of late.
Well, maybe I'll throw out Vekic then, because
Yeah,
if
good
she's
one.
29
Really
in
good
the
one.
seeds, I feel that you've got to give her. Well, Chika was 16. How can we not? We know. I don't feel that we can
Yeah,
say
but
her as a dark
no,
horse.
I prefer Vekic. It's a good one.
Yeah. Less
Forget the number
likely.
of seeds. Just do like players who could do something. And yeah, Vekic is a
Exactly.
really good one.
Well, Vekic, if she beats Saba, then it's game on. That's pretty much it, really.
Got MJ in saying dark horses Rune. Pretty good. And MJ wants a full array of buttons. What buttons would you like, MJ? Let us know what ones you want, and we can play one for you on the stream right now. And then, of course, we'll play plenty through Indian Wells for you. We've got So Iconic in saying dark horse the women's, Alicia Parks, men's, Tommy Paul. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if Tommy Paul would do. I don't think he's going to back up his Acapulco results.
No.
Could be proven wrong. I think his section's not too bad. If I remember correct, it's like Hubie Hurkacz there. We've got MJ there wanting the Ruud button. So if we've got the Ruud button, we will play that for you right now. Let me just have a quick look. It's not on
I don't
there.
think it's in there because he hasn't really been playing, but I can get it on there within a second.
Right.
To answer your question, which matches are we going to be covering? It's just going to see which ones tie in with work. We'll have a look at the schedule once that one is out, and just keep your eyes to the channel, and we'll be trying to cover as many big matches as possible in this Indian Wells tournament. And
it looks like play starts for us, Ben, at 7 p.m.
Okay, perfect.
So 7 p.m. play starts. Means could be some late matches. I'm just looking here. Yeah, we've got Raducanu there, but it's not. They've not set the times, but we'll try our best for sure to be covering the Raducanu match. And we do have qualifying going on right now. So some big players going through qualifying. I mean, you've got Kokkinakis, you've got Garin, Harris, Watanuki, Steve Johnson, Kudla, Vukic, Lajovic, Sangren, Borges, Matra.
Wow.
Wu, Passaro, Neva.
Really good players in there.
Serious level. I'm assuming the women's are similar. We've got Bolter, Juvan, Townsend, Masarova, Snyder, Burrage, Arani, Katie Swan, Peterson, who's been playing well, Smidlova, Tezarenko,
Who's the pick?
Golubik. Golubik's got to be.
Quite a big name. All right, you can have the Casper Ruud button. I think it's pretty much uploaded now. It's doing the spinny thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's down the bottom. There you go.
All right, here you go. This is for you, MJ.
On the cloud, y'all be singing the blues. He got the shots, he don't know how to lose. It's eating up, cause he's lighting the fuse. It's Casper Ruud. It's Casper Ruud.
There we go. That's for you, MJ. We've got Jane asking for Ghost. Yeah, Ghost, if you want a button as well, let us know. And I believe there's one more person who gets a button.
So iconic.
So iconic. You're more than welcome. But if not, catch us during the Indian Wells because we're going to be covering loads of matches. And we have a guy who commentates in that corner of the globe. It is your boy, Covey. He's saying this is where my time zone shines for calling matches.
That's it.
Lucky to have him.
Yep. And if you want to catch up with Covey in Covey's Corner, he reviews all of the past week's action on Covey's Corner every Monday, 7 p.m. GMT. So make sure to catch him every single week. He'll be on there. Very informative and getting a few nice comments on there as well. I think GSL, one of his biggest fans right now.
Yeah, let's end it there. I'm sure MJ's probably happy Djokovic isn't there because I know MJ doesn't like Djokovic. But for a lot of people listening to this are probably disappointed. I still think we're going to see a great Indian Wells. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and join us for our Indian World draw preview tomorrow where we'll be picking our winners for the men's and women's and also for the matches throughout the week. We'll be covering as many as we can, and there is some really big matches coming up. So thanks, Cavi. Thanks, boys. Great stream here. Looking forward to the tournament. We are too. Make sure, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in Indian Wells for the drama. See you then.
Goodbye.